Alright guys, welcome back to Ravenport. I believe this is episode 6. Today we're gonna get both of our fields turned around as far as we have field 18, which is there's nothing planted in it currently, and 21 was just harvested. So we're gonna get these turned around. 18, I've already got the John Deere over there with the planter on it ready to plant. We're gonna plant some grass in this field. And also, we've had an update since I've last recorded. We now have the landscaping feature, which actually, when the video where I put the shed, workshop out, there was a beta out for the landscaping tool, but I didn't want to use it yet because I didn't know how buggy it was. So it's finally now released, and it's been actually a couple weeks since I recorded the last episode because I was on vacation. But they were going up as the schedule I have posted for Wednesday and Saturday at noon Pacific time. So I am going to go get in the John Deere over there, and we're going to get that planting. So I was actually wrong. I said wrong. We actually have already planted field 18 with grass. I just didn't have it showing up. It's in its first growing stage. So if we look at this here. Yeah, it's just starting to grow. Like I said, it's been a few weeks, so I had forgotten that we had planted that. But instead, we still need to plant field 21 here. It has been harvested, so I'm going to disable grass because that is going to be everywhere. So I decided we're just going to go ahead and plant some wheat here because we actually haven't baled any straw in a little while. So I figure we could get this planted, and then when we harvest it, we can do these get the swath from it. Plus we just did canola on this field, so and I do have the wrong crop type selected here. We go to wheat, there we go, and we can lower this and turn it on. That is not what I wanted to do. There we go. Sorry guys, I'm still getting used to the buttons on this SATEC controller here. I'm actually going to stick this on a worker so that we can go and deal with the little project I have over here planned. Alright, so if you remember a few episodes ago, we put this we put the workshop down, and the landscaping is just atrocious on this. It didn't really put it down the way that I wanted it to. So what we're going to do is actually move this thing, because originally I wanted to put it up there with our yard, but it would not allow me to put it anywhere because the ground was uneven. Well, now we can fix that. And for those of you who do not know what the landscaping tool is, your mind's about to be blown, because Farming Simulator has gotten 10 times better, in my opinion, with this with the new landscaping feature. So what we're going to do is go ahead and sell this, because I'm just going to move this. I don't believe there's actually any way to move this from where it is, but it's not that big of a deal because I believe it's only 28. So we're gonna lose out on a little bit of money here, but I would rather just have this fixed. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the landscaping here. So it's really simple. You just go into the store menu there, and you choose landscaping, and then what you can do is actually, if we pull up the help menu here, is there's two different modes. So we can either sculpt the ground, so if we want to change the elevation, the slope, stuff like that, we can change that. And we can also paint, I believe, by pressing X. So yeah, then we can actually paint different ground types. So we can do like asphalt, like a dirt looking thing, a sand, and you can just kind of flip through and see the different types. There's actually quite a few, so that is very nice. But what I'm actually going to do here is just smooth this off, because I do not like, and I'm sure you guys can back me on this, how this looks. So you can press Q and E to move around. I mean, depending on what if you're using like a controller on the console, it's obviously going to be different. For me, middle mouse button is to smooth, and that's kind of what we're going for here. So I'm going to make this thing a little bigger and kind of just smooth the ground here. So you will notice there is a big patch here of like concrete from the foundation of the workshop that was there previously. We are going to fix that using the painting tool. And I'm just kind of smoothing the ground out here. And you'll notice that the grass kind of disappears. Don't worry, it will grow back. It's just, it's editing it, so it's like restoring it to its natural state, I guess, so it gets rid of whatever is growing there. If I were to do this on a field, it would do the same thing. It would get rid of whatever's planted there. But it would, after replanting it, I mean, grass is different because it'll grow over and over again. But if you had like wheat planted here and you were doing this, it would get rid of it. So I'm just smoothing this out. I know it's kind of boring watching this, but now you can see our land is a lot smoother, which is going to be really nice because that was a really big eyesore. So what I'm going to do now is switch modes here, and we're going to paint. And I'm actually going to make this a little bit smaller, and then we're just going to choose the grass to kind of match this. If I can find it, there we go. So now we can just paint right over it, and back to normal. I mean, once the grass grows back, you'll never know that anything was here. And what's really nice is you can actually tab over one, and you can get the kind of sand patches here with the grass, so you can kind of dot it around and it'll look like nothing was there. So yeah, that is really nice. And what's really I mean, I know I keep saying this is really nice, but it's going to be super nice for extending our fields because we can get rid of all these trees and smooth this out and make this one big field. Or another option we have is we can make this all nice and flat and make this a big yard in here and possibly just bleed into this field a little bit. That's why I planted it grass, because I do want to build a harvest some silage bales, or get some silage bales going. So we'll have to see what we're gonna do, but I'm gonna come up here now, and I did tidy up the yard a little bit. I put some stuff away. I have the combine sitting here in the spinnery there, so we're gonna go ahead, and I think the best place for our workshop right now is right in this area here. I'm hoping I'm not making you guys too dizzy moving around like I am, so I'm gonna smooth this out here. And if you notice, it does get rid of the bushes. So if you recall, before what I was gonna do is take a plow and plow this and then just plant it grass and have it grow back to normal. Or we could have used the roller to restore it back to the natural state, which would have gotten rid of it either way. But I think just using this is a better option. And you will notice that we are it does cost money to do this. So if you watch, I'm smoothing right now, if you watch our money in the upper right there, you can see it going down as the ground gets smooth. Depending on the task you do, it's much more, it costs more. Like if you're actually, I'm just smoothing it right now, so it's not costing a whole lot. But if we were to use, if we were to change the actual elevation, like you can see here, you can raise and lower on the menu here. That costs a little bit more than actually just smoothing. I don't want to raise and lower. I just want to make it where we can put our workshop down. So what I'm actually going to do, because we don't own that land, I'm going to try and stick the thing right here. So we can also flatten it. And what that means is wherever you're holding, like if I were to start flattening right here, it would match this elevation everywhere. So if I were to go all the way out here, it would be this big like land bridge. But it makes it where you can put stuff down, and then we can smooth it after. So I think somewhere right in here, if we kind of just flatten this out a little bit, we should be able to put our workshop down. So, and then we can obviously smooth it after. I just don't want to go too far. Okay. So now let's come into the store here, into our buildings, and try and place our workshop. I believe we can rotate this guy with the arrow keys. Yes. And something like that. It looks like it's still too, well, actually we might need to lift it up, so Control Q. Okay, so I had to place it back a little bit. I was realizing that I think because if we look in our map here, because our land is so close to, if I can do this, because I was trying to place it right on the edge here, it wasn't letting me because it was going on to the other property. If we were to buy this, it would probably let me, but I just moved it back a little bit because I didn't want to buy this whole piece of land just for this. We can build the road out here. So you'll notice it's a little bumpy, and if we come around back here, it's a little uneven. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna landscape a little bit more. And this tool is really addicting to me. So this tool is really addicting for me. Ever since it's come out, I've enjoyed playing with it. There's a few people on YouTube that I've been watching that, if I remember their channels, I'll link them in the description, but there's one guy that does these awesome time lapses where he, or she, it might be a girl, I don't know. They basically they make these big farms, so they start from scratch in the building process of like an actual farmyard. So they add like they do different things, like they'll add like the livestock area and the silos and all that good stuff. So this looks pretty smooth here, but yeah, it's a cool thing. If I find it, I'll link it in the description. I'm sure if you just search on YouTube for it, you can find it. But we need to lead the road kind of over here. So we're going to change modes here to the painting mode, and then we can kind of try and match the ground here. I'm actually not sure what ground type this is. It's definitely not that. I don't think it is the sand. I believe it's this. Or it's this. No, I think it is this right here. We'll stick with that because it's pretty close. I think it's actually, I can't actually tell. I think it might be this one. No, it's not. I'm getting really picky. I just need to okay, we're gonna go with this right here because I think it's most closest to the road here. So we can just kind of extend this. I'm gonna keep the gravel, the concrete pad that is on this. So you'll notice I can't edit right here. That is because the land boundary I was talking about, which isn't a big deal. I'm not too concerned with that. That's fine. That's kind of the disadvantage of where we bought our land. I probably would have bought a different section had I known we were going to get a landscaping tool. I think Giant announced it a long time ago. I say a long time ago when the game came out that they were kind of going to work towards something like that, but I wasn't paying attention like I should have been, so it's okay. We'll make do with what we have. So now we have a pretty smooth place here we can work on our stuff and not have a crazy hump thing that we had over there. So what I'm gonna do is smooth this right here. If I can get in here, I actually might not be able to do this because it's kind of, if we can just get rid of the bushes, there we go. Yeah, that's exactly all I need. And then we can even paint this a little bit just to kind of match what I can get here, just to match a little bit. So yeah, there we go. And then I do want to get rid of these bushes too. I told you I was gonna be obsessed with this. I've been fiddling with it for a little bit, just trying to get used to it, so that when I showed it to you guys, I would kind of have somewhat of an idea. I don't actually think I can modify. Maybe? Yeah, there we go. I just wanted to make it where if we wanted to come through here, it wasn't a big deal with all these bushes and stuff in the way to be able to get to our field, you know. So that's pretty good. We might even be able to make like a road that comes through here. Let's see here if I can just paint this a little bit. I don't want to go too far. But yeah, now we have like a little bit of a road that I know it's kind of incomplete there, but we can at least get back into here to our field. Maybe even extend it just a little bit. I could go all along here, but I'm not even going to bother with that because we've spent a little bit of money doing this. So, but other than that, now we have a nice little area that is fairly smooth, and I need to actually deal with this pallet here. I know that's probably bothering some of you guys. We'll have to smooth this out, but I'm not going to torture you guys with the landscaping anymore. So let's actually go check on how our worker over here is doing. So it appears that she is approximately halfway through the field, so she's getting along fairly well. So actually, to deal with that pallet over in our yard, I need the John Deere because that is what I have the front loader attachment for. But I was actually thinking that we could look at possibly doing a job, not anything too big because my goal is to try and make the episodes a little bit shorter because I know having the longer episodes for some people is just it can be a lot. So we can I don't know, you guys will have to let me know how the lengths are doing because they've been around 35 minutes and I was shooting for more like 25, but some of the stuff in this game just takes so long. As you saw the last episode when we did that actually took me like 2 hours to harvest that field of corn with the biggest harvester in the game. So yeah, you kind of get the gist. So I was thinking we could do something along the lines of possibly a fertilizing job, because we do actually have a fertilizer, so we wouldn't have to rent the machinery. We can just use our case. So this is field 10. Let's see how big field 10 is. If we come out here, okay, that's not too bad. So we can do field 10. It is growing, so we'll have to put the row crop tires on the case, even though it doesn't destroy it when you're doing a contract like that. But to keep kind of with the realism, we have the $20-something thousand workshop over there. We might as well use it. So we will go ahead and take that job, and it's a decent amount of money. So yeah, I didn't have to lease. So yeah. Okay, so we've got the fertilizer hooked up here. It looks like this actually has a little bit of lime in it, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and empty this out over here. It'll probably end up in the yard over here, but it's okay. Now, if I remember how to do this correctly, let me see here. Unload, so it's, let me see, there we go. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured it would do. That's fine. But I'm gonna go ahead and stick the row crop tires on this tractor real quick. If we can pull this in here without hitting our bags here, and we'll put these tires on. I believe I've already bought these tires for this. Yes, okay. So we can put those on there, and we're gonna have to, actually we've got some fertilizer right there, so that works out perfectly. That should be enough for that field. It doesn't use too much fertilizer when you're using the solid fertilizer here. So we'll put this in here. If I can back up to here, I believe to get the cover off. Yep. I don't know if this will be close enough. Yep, perfect. It doesn't look like there was much in that one. If we can get in the range of this. It's not letting me grab it for some reason. I think it's just because I'm too far. There we go. This one should be full. Okay, that's pushing the limit of. I think it should be enough though, as I ram our brand new building here. Let's see if I can cut through here. Okay, now we need to get over to field 10. I'm gonna chance it and say that that's gonna be enough, because I don't want to have to go all the way over to the shop and buy more. Yeah, so I've been looking into doing the horses, and I think from what I've seen, they are very profitable. So the deal with horses is you have to train them on a daily basis, basically, to make them more valuable. I mean, you don't have to train them every day, but if you want to get a quick turnaround on them, if you train them daily, you can only train them up so much every day. So if you train them daily, I think it's 6 or 7 days of training, and they go from being worth 5,000 a piece to 50,000. So if you have 4 horses and you train them every day for 7 days, you can turn $25,000 into $200,000. So there's actually a mod available that we can install that will basically hire somebody to train them daily. So we would never have to do it ourselves, but we'd be paying for it. So it'd be somewhat realistic, as opposed to just having it automatically done for us. But we'd have to feed them, obviously, and take care of them. So it's not a complete freebie. But I think they're very profitable, as well as chickens. I've noticed that chickens, if you get a chicken coop and fill it to the brim with chickens, the eggs are worth quite a bit in mass bulk. So we can definitely look into doing that, because I do want to get things moving along here. I'd like to get some bigger equipment and more fields, but of course that all costs money. Alright, so we are at field 10 here. It looks like we can just start fertilizing, and hopefully this won't take too long. And it looks like we'll have plenty of fertilizers, so I never really know if I'm gonna have enough or not, but it seems like it's going quite a long ways. So yeah, we'll get this done, and I think we'll make a decent profit in a relative short amount of time. And there goes the train, just going on. I do like that they did that with the train, because it does make it a lot more realistic, moving around like that. There's a couple things I wish they had done with the train. I really wish they had made it, I'm sure a model will eventually come out. They should have made that back flatbed car have a locking script, so that you can put tractors and stuff on it and move them around the map, so that if you want to have your farm spread out, you could strategically place it near the railroad track and have like some sort of ramp to where you can put your vehicles on it and move them between the farms relatively quickly, all in one fell swoop. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I did actually get a different microphone. It's not the best microphone that you can buy. I don't know a whole lot as far as microphones go. I know obviously the more you spend, typically the better it's going to sound. You know, the saying, you get what you pay for, is very accurate as far as microphones and technology goes. So it's the newer 700 on Amazon. It was like, I forget how much it was total, because I did get the upgrade for the I have the amplifier. It's like a 45 watt amplifier, and from what I read, it makes it sound better. I have no idea, because I'm kind of new to the whole audio thing, but I'm happy with it. It has a lot less background noise, so hopefully for you guys that are wearing headphones, it'll sound a lot better. In the future, I think I will probably be upgrading it one day, because it is not the best you can buy. but I think for now it'll do. And let me know how it sounds for you guys, because I think compared to what I was using last, it sounds a whole lot better. So I'll actually have a video coming out. I'm not sure if it's going to come out this week or next week. If it comes out this week, it'll be Saturday. So this video will go up on Wednesday of this week. So it'll be in a few days here, if I'm able to finish it up, because I do want it to be a pretty good video. That is funny over there, seeing the train appear. The cars are appearing. Anyway, I'm working on a top 5 tractors. It's kind of going to go through the different tractors of the game based on different things like cost and horsepower, and just kind of overall looking at the tractor and what justifies it as being in the top 5 and where it is in the top 5. So I'm hoping that video will be nice, because there are so many tractors in this game to choose from that it can kind of be overwhelming. So I'm going to try and break it down, even for myself, to see what the most cost-effective tractors are, and kind of the best way to make money, as far as saving money, I guess you would say. And if I get a good response out of that video, I would love to do more types of videos like that. Like, we could do all kinds of different videos as far as top 5s or top 10s, but as you have seen, we just actually completed that contract, so we can collect the money here. So there was $5,394, and I think our worker's almost done over in our field planting in field 21, so it looks like she's almost done. So I'll see you guys over at the yard. Okay, so we just got back in the yard here. I'm actually going to fertilize this field here that we have grass in, because I believe if we check our map, it has not been fertilized at all. So yeah, and we also really need to fertilize field 21 as well. So we're probably going to have to buy some more fertilizer. If I can come out here to see kind of where our field is, and yeah, so we will fertilize these 2 fields really quick, if I can make our fertilizer go that far. Okay, so that field is fertilized, so we can come up to our other field here, and we can actually possibly make a road that comes up to this field, because as it stands, we sort of just drive through grass here. It's an idea. So what I'll do is I'll stick this on a worker, and we can take our other tractor back to the yard and deal with the fertilizer that we have up in the trees. Alright, so we'll take the John Deere back over there, and we can actually I forget if we actually do have a pressure washer, because these tractors are they're getting dirty. I think I have the dirt turned to slow to try and minimize that, because of course tractors get really dirty, but I feel like these tractors get super dirty super quick when it's on normal. But I totally forget if we had bought a fertilizer, or not a fertilizer, a pressure washer, so we'll have to look at that. And we'll also have to stick the combine back into the yard here. Yeah, I didn't think we had bought one, so we can do that and get sort of some of these tools washed off here. So we will see if I can squeeze this between here. I put the baler in a really bad spot. I'm actually going to move that over right now, because I'm about tired of it being in the way. If we can just move it over toward the tipper here a little bit. Get right on in there. It won't take but 2 seconds. I'm just tired of it hogging up the whole bay. There we go. I think that's much better. So let's get the pallet forks on here, and we'll deal with this bag here of fertilizer, or lime actually. And I think I'm just going to leave those there for now, because we need to make a space for our fertilizer and our lime and our seed. So we can get this here, and I think I'll just stick this guy over with the rest. And it's kind of at the wrong angle here. See if we go first person, if that will kind of made it a little better, but can't really see. Let's see here. It's just at such a weird angle that... There we go. We got it in the end. I'm still kind of getting back into the swings here. I'm actually, into the swing of things. I'm actually going back to school because the quarter just started for the universities here on the west coast of the United States, and I'm trying to balance that and making videos, because I do enjoy making videos. It's fun for me, so I've been trying to stick with it for a little bit here. But I apologize. There might be a few times where I am late on the deadline of having the videos out. So hopefully that will not happen often. Okay, so it seems like our worker here decided to not do the rest of this here. I think it's because it's on the edge of the field. But we should be able to finish this off here with what we have left in the tank. And we could possibly buy field 20 and extend this and make it one big field. We're just kind of low on money right now, but it'll start picking up here. I'm definitely serious about the horses because they are very profitable from what I've read. So we'll have to give them a shot, and we'll just kind of get the bit in the headland here that the worker missed, and we are out. But I am not going to worry about that little patch because it's very minuscule compared to the rest of the field. So I think that is going to be it for this episode, guys. I really appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode.